to preface again, Starstake is an application built on the DeFi financial system. How that affects each other is the financial system gives it the economics, the financial abilities to do what it does, the tokenomics, the tokens inside of it, even though inside of Starstake, we actually created it to shelter people from crypto, meaning you really won't ever have to deal too much with cryptocurrency, even though that's what is being used in the background. And this application generates its own revenue. This will generate lots and lots of revenue on its own. And because it's connected, underlying under the hood, the engine is energy, essentially, that all those economics, all that revenue from Starstake will affect the value of the tokens, the value of the financial system, because it's just its own business, its own company on top, built on top of it, if that makes sense. Okay, so here, let me show you just real quick. So when somebody goes to Starstake, they'll be able to go ahead and register. There'll be a website, marketplace, etc., which I'll show you, but there will be a basically just a process that they go to get started. So they'll just connect their wallet. When they do that, that's a smart wallet like a MetaMask, if you're familiar. They'll put in an email and a nickname, and what that does is it connects their email to their wallet so we can communicate back and forth. That's really important in Starstake. And then they'll sign in, which connects that together, and then it'll ask them to choose who are you. So whether they're a star, maybe somebody who owns intellectual property, or are they a fan that just wants to shop around and check things out. So let's just say that I'm a fan. Okay, so then it brings them to this page, and all this page does, it has a video that shows them, how do I invest? How do I buy Infinity NFTs? What do I do here? What is this thing, this Starstake thing all about? Okay, this is the onboarding for people just to register for an account and get started. They can watch this video and then they can go over to the marketplace. That is the basic getting started process, all right? I mean, this is the marketplace. This is Starstake Marketplace. You can browse different categories. There's music, creators, arts, experts, sports, tech, and products. Those are the categories of intellectual property. All right. On here, you can just browse through different types of Infinity NFTs. Okay, intellectual properties. You can do searches, etc. And after you do that, you can go ahead and go to a star's profile page. So a big thing about Starstake, unlike any other NFT platform, is if you go to OpenSea, for example, which is a marketplace that does about $3 billion a month in revenue, think about that. It's all the pages are the same. You have the same page, you have a little image that represents that NFT, and that's it. What we did is we took a creative approach to this, saying, hey, these stars, these people, these YouTubers, they want to showcase their brands, their personality, their art. And so we want to give them the ability so they can actually, this is an example of a profile page. This is my fiance, Shanks. She's a beautiful musician. This is her profile page. And because she's also an actress and she's in commercials and things, she can actually create an INFT for her likeness, meaning you can stake the person, Shane Belmonte, and when she's in commercials and when she has merchandise or when she does things that have to do with her personal image, you can earn royalties on her success for that. How cool is that? Right? So it shows a little bit about her music, her different INFTs. She also can mint her own currency, which I'll show you inside here. If this was hers, you would show what she had here, which you could use and buy, and then it shows other artists. So every person can create a profile, whether or not you want to create an NFT for your likeness or not, so people can get to know you, who you are, who's the person behind the IP, if that makes sense, who's the artist behind the art. Okay, so then from there, let's say I wanted to go to one of her INFTs. So if I want to say, what's her INFT for her new song, for example? Let me find a different one. There we go. So let me know is her new release. She actually just, this is gonna be one of the first INFTs on Starstake. You can go here, you can watch a video about her song. You can see how much has been staked already, how many people. As you scroll down, you'll see an image representation of that. That's what you're gonna see in your wallet if you purchase. It shows what the royalty percentages are, all the stats on it, all those kinds of things. And then as you scroll down, you'll see information of basically just an overview about that Infinity NFT. As you scroll down, you see details, okay, the contract address, typical stuff, NFT stuff. But then you're going to see something called rewards. This is a big deal. Rewards is something that we inserted that really have to do with our access economy. You've seen Gary V. How many of you have seen Gary V's VFriends application? Put in the chat if you've seen it. If you've seen VFriends that Gary Vaynerchuk does, are you familiar? Put yes if you have, no if you have not. I'm going to reference that. because it's really important. All right. So Gary Vaynerchuk, what he does, he created VFriends, and all he did is created these sketches. He sells these sketches for 75, some of them are 75, $100,000 a piece. Why in the world would somebody buy a sketch for 75 grand? Well, here's why. It's not that the sketch is worth that. It's what's inside of it. He gives you access to his events, to dinner with him, to playing basketball with him, to other IP. It's about access. Well, the average person can't do that. With Starstake, you'll be able to. So if I'm a podcaster, or let's just say I have a YouTube channel and I create an Infinity NFT, I can say, hey, if you stake $100 or more, I'll give you fan art, I'll give you updates, I'll give you this, 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 and this, right? You get an access token with that stake, okay? And I can go down here and I can say, okay, what do I get for 500? And maybe there's other things that I would get. So there's these different access tokens that you can give that increases the value of your original asset, okay? You can see updates about those things. You can even chat within here, all right? So up top here, let's say, okay, I want to stake Shang's song, and I'm going to do $100. I can put $100 in here. Okay, and I can go ahead and stake now under this access reward. So I'll get the royalty contract, you know, maybe I make 15% on her song royalties. Plus I get all these cool rewards with that. All right, so this is Stake Hub. Okay, so when you go to Stake Hub, you guys can see my screen, I hope. So Stake Hub is like your reporting center. It shows your portfolio. It's where you manage all these cool things. So you can see in here how much royalties you receive from all your INFTs, how much you've cashed out from all your royalties, what's available, and how much that token growth is. Because remember, you're paid out in these royalties from all this different stuff that happened. And you can see all the different INFTs listed that you've basically purchased and how much royalties you're making on each one. All right. And then you can say, okay, I want to see which ones I stake. So here's all the, for example, here's all the different INFTs I staked for Shang. Shang, you're popular on here today. So I can check out all the different ones. So let's look at this INFT. I want to see how it's doing. I spent $4,000 on this one. So I check it out. It shows all the contract address stuff. It shows how much I've made in royalties on just her song, how much the token has grown underlying there, how much I've cashed out of this already, and how much is available to cash out. Okay, and it shows a chart. There's different royalties that you can earn. First one is your IP royalties. This comes from the artist. So if her song goes #1 and she starts making licensing revenue on that song, she shares a piece of that with you because you have that INFT. Licensor royalties or fan royalties are you get to make a piece from the whole community of all the fans. So when people stake, there's a percentage that goes to all the fans, which is amazing. So you can click that and it'll show you the stats for that. And then also referral royalties. If you send people to her song and they decide to stake from your link, you get a royalty from that as well. It's pretty cool. So you can see all your stats on her INFT here. And if you want to spend that, so if you're getting these royalties and you want to put it back into your INFT to get a higher percentage, you can just put in that amount and add it right back into it. You don't have to buy or do anything. Or you can just cash it out. And you can put in that amount, hit cash out, and it converts it. It takes that royalty, it converts it to US dollar coin and puts it right into your wallet instantly, right? You don't have to do anything. You just hit a button, literally. It's pretty crazy, you guys. All right. We have a watch list, so you can mark certain INFTs if you want to watch them, keep an eye on them. And then we also have an activity screen where you can actually monitor all the activity kind of from one place. All right. So that's basically Stake Hub, how to manage it. You can see the royalties on all your referrals. So for example, down here, you can say, okay, here's a link that I shared. It had 5,341 visitors. There was 4,600 staked from my link that I sent out. And this is how much I made $3 grand from that, right? So you can see every INFT that you share with other people, how much they spend and how much you get out of that. It's pretty cool, right?